All right, well, we start with a late twist at the Stadium of Light, where Arsenal's 10-game winning run came to an end because Sunderland scored 4 minutes into time added on to force a 2-2 draw against the Premier League leaders.
Before we get into the nuts and bolts of the game, is that fair to say that that's one of the biggest tests you've faced in all competitions this season?
Yeah, a really tough test. We knew that. The way they set up, credit to them as well, because they make it very difficult for you. They take the game constantly to the areas that they want. You have to deal with that, and very unfortunately, at the end we conceded a goal.
Did you sense that they'd really disrupted your rhythm, the way you like to play, particularly in the first half? There was a sense that there was two different sides to Arsenal's performance today in the first and second half.
Well, just the time that has been added obviously tells you the story of the game. So it's normal. Each team tries to do his best, to do what we have to do, and we try the same.
You find yourselves a goal behind. What did you say to the players, particularly at half-time?
Well, what we had to do better, obviously, the way we concede the goal is very clear what they do. They do it really, really well. It's good to show it and to try to train it. At the end, you have to execute it on the pitch, and then the game is going to be very long. We need a goal to believe. We've done it. I think we put them in the back foot. We created a lot of chances. We scored the second goal. It was the hardest thing to do, and it's another direct ball. We lose the flick, and to be fair, the striker puts the ball the leg in an incredible way to anticipate a bit and to score the goal.
Obviously, you'd be disappointed to concede all 3 points today and just go away from a draw. The manner of the way you conceded the goals today, 8 clean sheets, all competitions coming in today. Is there a sense of frustration in the way that you've conceded them, given the way you've been defending?
Yeah, because they are two direct balls and two flicks. Basically, it's the same action. But credit to the opposition as well. They do that. It's not the first time they've done it. They have committed at the end with Ballard as well a lot of players there, and they create that chaos that in any moment it can be in a long throw, it can be in any moment they can score a goal, and that's the reason why they are where they are.
Did we see, though, today that the sense of how difficult this league is? People talked about you potentially going 9 points clear, but does it show today how hard it is to win this league when you come to places like this, to newly promoted sides, and they give you a fight like that?
It shows it every week. Against any opponent, you know the margins that you win football matches. We really understand that and recognise that. So we understand the difficulty of we've done winning 10 games in a row and not conceding any goals. Now they have the international break. We are very disappointed because we won the 3 points, obviously, but we have to go again.
You mentioned the international break. Looking at your bench today, with respect, probably not the strongest that we've seen from Arsenal at times this season. All those players we know, Martin Odergard, Kai Havertz, Martinelli, Gabi Jesus. Is this coming at a good time for you?
Yeah, we have 7 injured players, especially on the front line, so we're very limited with the options that we had. But this is the season as well. You're going to go through those periods. Those players, they haven't been with us for the last 2 months, and we've still done really, really well, so big credit to the team.
Just finally, do battles like this make you stronger? Do they make you potential champions?
For sure, and I love the way the team reacted and we scored the 2 goals and go ahead. It's just a shame that in the last minute we concede the goal in the manner that we've done it, but that's the league.
Mikel, thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Arsenal's winning run, 10 on the bounce in all competitions, has come to an end at the Stadium of Light thanks to Brian Brobby's late equaliser. 90 plus 4 minutes on the clock. 3 goals conceded all season and 2 in one evening at the Stadium of Light. Granit Xhaka, the former Arsenal man, delighted to help steer his side to a point that takes them up to 3rd in the table. This is the Sunderland equaliser, Gary. Is it inevitable almost that Dan Ballard's in the mix again?
Yeah, interesting how he's up there again, isn't it? You know, we spoke about having to find a way to create chances against Arsenal because they are a unique test. And to be fair to Sunderland, you know, they've found a way. You know, they've gone to Ballard twice with balls into the box, and Arsenal have struggled to deal with the second phase.
Bit of Darren Bent about that finish, I think, as well, from Brian Brobby. His first shot in the Premier League. And his first goal.
It's almost one of those where, to be fair, the goalkeeper's made a decision for him, and it's a really, really nice finish.
What about this? Dan Ballard again, Darren, in the right place.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Calafiori probably should score himself. I mean, I think he gets too much on the header rather than really trying to go back across goalkeeper and low. But Dan Ballard there, as you said, they're putting his body on the line. I mean, he throws himself at it. I mean, it's close to giving away a penalty there, but it's a really, really good block. And the reaction, to be fair, from blocking that tells you all about the Sunderland performance this evening.
Do you think an Arsenal fan, if there was one around, might reflect that it is actually not a bad point?
I mean, Gary was talking about it earlier, and he's right, to be fair. Once it settles, because they'll be thinking 2-1 up, it should be all 3 points. But Sunderland's a tough place to go, as we've seen so far this season. So I think in a few days' time, they'll reflect and say it's a point well gained.
Well said.
Both of Sunderland's goal scorers this evening. What a moment. This one will live on in the memories for them because it was such a significant night for them. Salvaged a point late on. We just heard from Brian Brobby, so let's have a look at his goal, the equaliser, 2-2, 94th minute. Sorry, David, but can you talk us through this?
It's a little bit unlucky, like we get a little deflection off Saka there, and then Pollard is causing havoc again. Whether Raya should come, I'd question that, and the way that he comes for the ball, he's coming to try and catch it. And is he aware of the guy getting really close to it? Gabriel's trying to hold him off. He tried to get a free kick for a head, high, low. It's a great finish by Brobby, but I just question the decision of Raya, whether he should have come and tried to punch it rather than trying to catch it.
And he'll be absolutely gutted, considering the record we've been talking about of clean sheets and the string of clean sheets that they have had.
Yeah, definitely. And he's made some fantastic saves in the game as well. He even made a triple save. He gets cancelled out for offside, so apparently that doesn't count. But he's been making some fantastic saves. But I nearly said it's so disappointing. But when you look at the overall game, I think
fair result in the end.
Yeah, just about a fair result.
Just about. Look at the points from losing positions. Sunderland have amassed the most this season. They're a newly promoted side, but you wouldn't think it, would you, Gary?
Yeah, no, it's a great start, isn't it? And it's all about attitude. That when I look at that, I feel like, that's about attitude, and that's about not getting your head down in difficult moments when you go behind in games. So it's a great achievement and a great start for them. And again, they've done it tonight and earned themselves a point.
And you talk about attitude. Arsenal showed great attitude, as they have all season, because Saka, early in the second half, came out and equalised. Merino played his part as well in the goal. And we thought, right, they're off.
Yeah, it was a great reaction, like I said, in the second half. Look at Declan Rice, he's absolutely superb. I thought he was terrific all game today, winning the ball back with a high press. And then obviously Saka finishing it off in the near post. You just look at Declan Rice here, his attitude, his desire to go and win it and press. Lafy just kind of, he holds onto the ball too long. You see there from Roofs, he's putting his arms up in the air. He can see what's behind him, he can see the pressure coming. He's wanting the ball back to maybe then clear and go long. That's the only time I saw in the game up until this point that Sunderland took risk. I thought it was a risky pass into midfield. They didn't need to make that pass. It wasn't really on to build out from there because the two centre-backs were split. It was in a sticky situation. For me, the ball goes back and you clear your lines. And if you don't, somebody like Declan Rice, who we spoke before, one of the best in his position in Europe, in European football, takes the ball off you and the rest is history, as I say, the back of the net.
Yeah, and then before we knew it, was Trossard that scored an absolute beauty. This is amazing. From
the amount of power he generates from almost like a standing start, I just wondered whether Roos got blindsided with it, because I think there's a striker just goes in line with the ball as he hits it. When you see the shot from behind, he moves late, but it's still a fantastic strike. That's absolute quality, that of the highest order.
Nothing the goalkeeper could have done here, right?
No. It was made harder.
Of course. Yeah.
One hand. But anyway. But no, it's an unbelievable strike. And trust me, these balls are different. They are faster, because I train with them at Arsenal, and even I can generate speed with them. So that's telling you a lot about the new ball.
And sometimes when the game's so tight and you're looking for players to kind of, to do something special, and that was a real special goal. Yeah. That was a fantastic hit from Trossard.
And despite the fact it's 2-2, in the 90th, had a chance, didn't they, to win it very late on. What a story and what a turnaround this would have been.
It would have been, but it's an absolutely amazing block by the defender. But and when it falls to, I think it's Merino, isn't it?
That's as good as a goal.
Yeah.
Centre-back's point.
That save there is decent.
Here we go. Look, body on the line.
No.
And Dan Bollard was involved
him again.
in everything, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Honestly, obviously the goal, the finish was superb. He was involved for the first header for the goal, and obviously then at the end, a match-saving a challenge. So he had a terrific game as well.
So what do Arsenal learn from this? Of course, we can see the Premier League table there. They still have that healthy lead at the top, but I guess it would have been nice to have extended it a little bit more.
Yeah, of course it would, but it shows you that they still believe in what they're doing. This was a difficult game, especially when you looked at it first half. it looked difficult. Sunderland were well organised and they knew exactly what they needed to do with Arsenal. You know, hit it long, play in Arsenal's half rather than trying to play out from the back. And like Gary said, you know, when they did play out from the back, it cost them a goal. But Arsenal, they're in a good position, you know, because this was a big test.
As for Sunderland, third in the table. How are they doing this?
Yeah, dreamland. Yeah, like I said, attitude, the way they're playing, unbeaten at home. They're obviously generating the atmosphere at home. The fans are obviously loving the life in the Premier League this season. Well organised team, you know, doing very, very well. So, but we said about Arsenal as well. It was important if they didn't win to not lose. 7 points clear. You know, they're in a good position.
They certainly are. OK, we move on because our next stop tonight is another big...
Dan, Brian, well done. Dan, a lot of people were asking before this game. We'd find out in the next few weeks about Sunderland starting today. What have we found out?
I think you saw again the fight in the team. It's incredible. The boys work so hard, you know, throughout the whole week, and we show it on the pitch. You know, we fight to the end. Just the amount of late goals we've scored, it's brilliant.
You got the first goal. You got the ball rolling. First goal from the feet in 2 years. What was said at half time?
Yeah, I mean, they caused us a lot of problems, to be fair, in the game. We was camped in on the edge of the box. We knew we'd have to take our chances at set pieces and be a lot more aggressive off the ball. And obviously going in 1-0 up, you know, we thought we could get something out of the game, and in the end we did.
Brian, you were sent on. What did the manager say to you when he sent you on?
Just that I need to be important. Hopefully with the goal, and today they did it.
Just talk us through that goal, that equaliser.
I think it was a long ball. I don't know from who, but then the big man with a good header, and I was at the right place.
How immense has the man been alongside you today?
Yeah, really good, really important today for the team. So, yeah.
Dan, do you sense there's something really special happening here at Sunderland? You've taken on the best team in the Premier League, arguably one of the best teams in Europe, and in fairness, gone toe-to-toe.
Yeah, I mean, we're very calm, to be honest. It's a long season. We've had a good start, obviously, but it's been a lot of games that have been tight. So, you know, if we keep going like this, hopefully we can, you know, achieve our goal.
Well, listen, well done to both of you, but Dan, particularly well done to you. Brian, do the honours. You are the player of the match.
Thank you. Cheers.